The world burns 100 million barrels of oil every single day. 20 million of those barrels comes through the Straits of Hormuz, a tiny waterway between Iran and Saudi Arabia. That's why the U.S. is in the Middle East, and it always will be. I'm going to give you a map of the entire region, the countries, power dynamics, the key leaders, and then explain why the recent deaths of Iran's supreme leader may send the world into chaos. Hi, I'm Travis. Welcome to All the Things, where we take complicated stuff and break it down into easy to understand videos. Today, we're breaking down the Middle East. Part 1. Why does all this matter? You guessed it, oil. 20% of the world's oil flows through that tiny strait between Iran and the Arabian Peninsula called the Strait of Hormuz. If the gates close, gas prices spike worldwide within days, maybe even hours. As a matter of fact, it's happening right now, March 11th, 2026. Reason number 2, religion. Judaism, Christianity, Islam, all born there. That means billions of people have these deep emotional and ideological feelings. And Ben Shapiro may say facts don't care about your feelings. Feelings don't care about your facts. And there have been plenty of wars and murders due to feelings. Not so many over Jeopardy answers. Wars get fought over holy cities. Nations are shaped by religion. That's just the way it is. Part 2, the key players. Saudi Arabia has the most money because it has the most oil. It's ruled by the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. He's 38 years old, modernizing the country while maintaining massive power. Saudi Arabia wants 2 things above everything: protection from Iran and a guaranteed military presence. It's a monarchy that runs on oil money. Then we have Israel, and that's as much like the United States as you can get in that area. It's technologically advanced. The military is very powerful and surrounded by people who hate them. It would be like if every state hated Kansas. Prime Minister Netanyahu has spent decades arguing that Iran is an existential threat to Israel's survival. That belief has driven nearly every major Israel military operation for the past decade. Iran, and if you want to watch our video on Iran, I'll link it right here, or I'll put it in the description. We learned that since the 1979 Islamic Revolution, it's been run by a supreme leader, a religious figure with near supreme power. For the past 36 years, it was run by Khomeini, who just got taken out. He built a bunch of terror cells whom he could say, oh, I don't know who those guys are. And like I said, if you want to hear more about that, you can look at our other video. Iran wants regional dominance, nuclear capability as a deterrent, and the survival of the Islamic Republic. We're coming back to Iran in a minute. Turkey is in NATO, but it kind of plays all sides. It buys weapons from Russia. It funds different people that might want to fight with the United States. Its president, Erdogan, wants Turkey to be extremely powerful, like the way it was in the Ottoman era, unpredictable and pivotal. The Gulf states, UAE and Qatar, they're small and wealthy, incredibly savvy. Qatar has the largest U.S. airbase. The UAE has become friends with Israel in 2020, and both those countries are positioning themselves just in case we don't use oil as much one day. Forward thinking. Yemen, Lebanon, Iraq, and Syria. They're just kind of a mess. Constant wars with those proxy forces we talked about earlier. Iraq would be like if all the states in the United States were fighting with each other. Technically a country, but kind of a mess. Syria is slowly climbing out of the rubble after 2024. So let me sum that up. Saudi has most of the money, but there's no Mike Tyson on the battlefield. Israel has the strongest military and a really good technology. They also have an all or nothing mentality, like they win or that's it. Iran, crapshoot right now. Anything could happen. Turkey is kind of a fence sitter. UAE and Qatar just trying to make a living. Yemen, Lebanon, Iraq, and Syria, kind of like an episode of Jerry Springer. Part 3. Remember, Sunni versus Shia Islam. Roughly 85% of the world's Muslims are Sunni. Saudi Arabia leads the Sunni world. Iran leads the Shia world. The two countries have been in Cold War for decades, fighting each other with their gangs and proxy groups that they claim not to be in control of. They're trying to be the biggest influencer on the block, and they claim it all in the name of religion. And it surely isn't purely about religion. It's about power, but they use religion to gain that power. Can you imagine somebody using religion to gain power? Could you? Part 4. Now. Right now. The event that changes the whole equation is happening right now. On February 28, 2026, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Iran's supreme leader for the last 36 years, was killed by a joint U.S. and Israel airstrike. We talked about that in our Iran video. The man who built Iran's thug network, who ran the nuclear program, who was the ideological engine for the Islamic Republic, gone. And that's kind of a big deal. 10 days later, Iran's clerical embassy named a new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, his son. And that detail is loaded. The Islamic Republic was literally founded by overthrowing a monarchy on the principle that powers shouldn't be inherited. And power was literally just inherited. It reveals how much the Revolutionary Guard, a powerful military force in Iran, it's how they're running the show. They wanted Mojtaba. They got him. Mojtaba. Isn't that the name of that disease on that movie Outbreak with Cuba Gooding Jr. back in the day? Mojtaba, 56, hardline, spent his career in the shadows and has extremely close ties to the IRGC. President Trump called him unacceptable. The Revolutionary Guard vowed revenge. This is the situation with Iran. And remember, they were enriching uranium, and it is happening as I record this. Part 5. What happens now? 3 realistic paths. Iran doubles down, hypes up its proxies, doubles down on nuclear weapons, seeks revenge. That's actually happening right now. That's the way things get bad, really bad. Or Iran implodes. The Iranian people who have been protesting for years, who are probably just normal people trying to make it and don't want to have anything to do with some crazy government. Their economy is devastated. They did not choose this. They used this moment to overthrow the religious government. Then the world steps in, helps them rebuild. That's optimal for everyone, except the Islam Republic Guard. A quiet negotiation. A new weakened Iranian leadership signals through back channels in Qatar and Oman their willingness to discuss their nuclear program for sanctions relief. Possible, politically very difficult for both sides. Something's going to happen, no doubt about that. A weaker Iran means less money flowing into Hezbollah and the Houthis, those gangs causing havoc in the region. Israel's safer. Saudi and Israel become friends. The region is reorganizing, and everyone's just waiting to see what happens in Iran. And now, the Middle East isn't a mystery. It's a chessboard with rooks and kings and pawns. It has predictable motivations. So remember, next time you're with your friends and they say, "Why are we even involved over there?" Remember the Straits of Hormuz, a strip of water 21 miles wide that an entire global economy runs through. You don't get to ignore that. Nobody does. If you found this helpful, drop a comment or send it to somebody you might think's interested. We appreciate it. We're a new channel. We're trying to grow.